Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Amanda Cairns, co founder and clinical director of ARK Health Group. Today, I want to share our product brand, ARK Fusion, why we built it, and how we use it in clinical practice, and how it can support your clients across a range of concerns. So, this is not just about supplements, it's full system support. So, ARC Fusion was born from clinical frustrations. We were seeing real client issues bloating, fatigue, hormonal imbalances, but we really struggled to find affordable practitioner strength solutions that we could trust. So we created our own, and after years of training and further research and traveling to Switzerland and America to upskill, we created a supplement range with real impact. So it's backed by science and built for practice. So by combining science and lived experience, and as translational researchers, that means that we created something that has to work in a real world. Looking at practical solutions and not just basing it on the science and what looks good on paper. We needed to test it and pilot it with our clients and making sure that we were constantly evolving and responding to their needs. So let's look at my previous research. This was a research piece from one of my masters. It's currently in publication, and I just did a general call to the general public to come and take part in qualitative focus groups. As it turned out, basically nearly everyone that I interviewed had suffered gut issues and did fit the criteria for constipation, although they didn't like using the term constipation. Rather, they would have said they were feeling bloated or sluggish. I was amazed in my research call on how many people were relying on laxatives long term with poor results. A common recurring theme was that a lot of people felt dismissed by their GPs. They felt very confused by generic advice like eat more fiber. And then they would end up like doom scrolling on the internet for solutions and getting even more confused about what might work for them. The emotional and psychological impact was profound. Um, it really had such an impact on their day to day living, energy levels, their appetite, even looking at social outings and the stress and worry if they did experience even IBS type symptoms and gut upsets. So they did link gut issues to stress, but said that this was rarely acknowledged by their healthcare providers. And this gap inspired us to create products and protocols that treat the whole person. Now let's move on to Rowan's research. So he looks at probiotics, gut issues, and he's looked at all different cohorts, whether it's athletes or men with prostate cancer. But let's look at this survey in particular. Whenever he did work with athletes, there were widespread gut symptoms like bloating, irregularity, and poor recovery, despite having clean diets. So, athletes wanted structure and personalized guidance. Um, and again, this is like a resounding theme where people just need to relate to a protocol or feel like it's personalized to their needs, which is why we brought in the likes of the supplement selector tool. We just want to get across that based on our research, whether you're working with everyday clients or high performing individuals, gut support is foundational. So we developed five main ranges: energy, defend, restore, balance, and nourish. Each range supports a specific phase of gut and immune health, but they all work together holistically. So each range has a two-step protocol, a cleanser, and an infusion phase to rebalance, nourish, and support long-term resilience. So having the two targeted phases that work synergistically together, um, we found that it was very important to get that foundational cleanser in. We find so many people will go and just buy like multivitamins, and they'll be taken away for months and just not really know what it's doing for them. But actually, if they are very congested in their gut and there's an awful lot of waste in there, that can be affecting their nutrient absorption. So we would always say, get the gut decongested. And therefore, by restoring regularity, you're also going to help get better balance, um, and replenish nutrients and restore long term well being. So think of it nearly like washing your face, that you're cleansing away all the impurities, and then you're using like your toner and your moisturizer and all the other SkinCeuticals to infuse goodness back into your skin. So the infusion is the other half of our protocol, where we take the probiotics and the multi nutrients that we've studied and put them together according to whatever the client's ailments are in that range. So this has been a winning combination, and we'll see how this plays out in each of our ranges. Now, I'm going to start with energy. This is our most popular range, the most searched for online. And in fact, what we're finding is that so many people search for fast lax, but actually they might need a little prompt to buy it or practitioner support, because again, them possibly they have some psychological stress about their gut, and they might be wary of how it might affect their routine. I think too, so many people nearly need prompted or educated on the importance of their gut health. So let's start with the discovery phase. This is a great start if you've got somebody who just wants a discovery call, just to put the feelers out, maybe fill in a health intake form, and get guided and kick-started on a program. So the energy range is for sluggish bowels and fatigue, a very common problem in our population. And these are often the first sign of gut dysfunction. So again, we're going to start with fast lax. It uses glucomannan, rhubarb root, ginger, and cayenne for a gentle yet effective reset. So this is great for clients who are moving off stimulant laxatives. We've seen so many clients who have just been getting a repeat prescription of laxatives for years, and it's really not giving much relief for them long term, and it could actually end up irritating the gut lining and leading to issues like lazy bowel. So we would use this as a kickstart program, and generally we see all of our clients progressing through. Maybe they will have no longer have a need for a laxative type formula because we regulate the bowels naturally, or perhaps then reduce down to like a maintenance dose longer term. But we do try to put in a natural alternative to empower people, and plus it's giving them like a more multi-purpose gut soothing approach. So just think of the ingredients in there, like rhubarb. That would have been an ingredient that like your granny would have used, like back in the day to help stimulate bowel function. Think of like ginger and cayenne in a juice shot, just to really ignite motility. So this one is definitely a firm favourite, and something useful for anybody who is dependent on long-term laxatives to try to wean them off. We'll move on to our infusion, Fit Pro. I think I needed a bigger slide for this. There's so much in it. This is a real powerhouse all in one ingredient. So this is our energizing sachet with electrolytes, marine collagen, citicoline for brain clarity, prebiotics and probiotics. I told you it's a powerhouse. So it's ideal for post-illness recovery or high stress. So think of this one as a gut-friendly alternative to collagen shots or energy drinks. This was the flagship product that myself and Rowan developed together whenever Rowan was researching athletes and performance and looking at like the nitrates and Montmorency cherry, tart cherry, and then I had just had a baby, so I was just like looking for a lifeline. You know, whenever your hair is running out, you're falling out. My skin was just, everything about me was so depleted. And I was trying to keep my energy up for looking after a little one. So we came together and we have found that this has just been an all rounder. It's our most expensive formula, and it is by far the most popular. Like, we actually did like a full shopping list of a client who was buying lots and lots of supplements each month. She was spending like over £300, and I just went through all of the ingredients and all the supplements that she was taking, and I was like, just take fit. That's it. Just that's all you need. Instead of taking, like, spending all this money on collagen shots every month. Do you know? If you look at the amount of ingredients, you imagine if you were taking that many ingredients singularly. So this is just a great all in one and cost friendly solution. So I'm going to move on to our Defend range now. So it's once people have got that discovery call, and they'll definitely build trust with you because they're feeling good after completing energy range. Um, Certainly, if they're coming to the clinic, we move them forward because if their gut is regulated, we'll say, right, happy days, that's brilliant. We've got you going to the bathroom every day. And now it's just about like giving you some relief to soothe and rebalance. So, Defend is designed to calm inflammation, hydrate the gut, and rebuild microbial diversity. With this particular range, according to customer feedback, everyone, they were getting themselves right, and therefore then they were looking after everybody else's needs, because they felt good. We're like, do you know what? This would help such and such, or oh, I'm going to pick up some probiotics for my kids. So basically, this is a really good family friendly protocol. We're going to start with our cleanse, which is Hydro Pro. It uses a triple magnesium blend, sugar beet fibre, vitamin C, and zinc for gut lining repair and immune support. This is a great all in one everyday formula, and it is suitable for the whole family. We have had a lot of people coming in and saying that their toddler, say, is constipated, and what we would do, because there's no herbals or anything in it. It's all just, magnesium and goodies for your immune support and fiber. We would take a capsule and open it out and sprinkle it into, say, the toddler's cereal or milk, yogurt, and they're getting such good relief. So again, family friendly protocol, um, really, really useful for long term use. And now we're going to look at the MU Probio, a very simple probiotic, but don't underestimate the strains. So we've got 4 strains in there. This was a very calculated budget product. We designed it for kids, and specifically it came from looking at infant colic. That was a big, big issue, and kids that were born by C-section, and they wouldn't have got the normal mum's microbiome from a vaginal birth. So we were looking at something suitable from infants on, but this has honestly become such a family favourite. We find it is also useful with fussy eaters and with elderly who might be on lots of medications and don't want to add to that. So, we'll put it in their juice. It's completely tasteless. We did design this with those fussy eaters in mind, so it cannot be detectable. We put a lot of effort into the strains, looking at the latest research like Reuteri for colic, and acid reflux. Um, and then Johnson I that has been in recent like cancer and inflammation research. And then we added simple prebiotic and vitamin D. So it also works well as a budget probiotic. Many people would still be taking like Actimels and Yakults and like yogurt drinks and think that they're getting enough like probiotics, but think of like all of the sugars that would be in like a yogurt drink. So you're getting a real like therapeutic dose here whenever it comes to just taking a sachet of immuprobio. So therapeutic dose, zero sugar and kid friendly. Now on to the Restore range. It targets candida overgrowth and persistent bloating or skin issues. The goal here is to deep cleanse the microbiome and rebalance gut ecology, especially in cases of fungal overgrowth that really do need a deeper cleansing reset. So the cleanse in this is Candida Pro. It contains magnesium, caprolate, garlic, um, your basically everything in here is antifungal, and you do notice when you're taking it that you'll start to notice whenever you go to the bathroom it might be more sticky. That yeast stickiness starts to come away. It is best if you follow an anti-candida diet plan. Alongside this, we have a specific restore diet plan, as we do for all of our ranges. And I do think that this should be guided as well by a practitioner, because what you'll find is that whenever you start to kill off yeast overgrowth in the gut, you might start to get like hangover symptoms. Do you know, feeling really like tired, fatigued, headaches. You might even get like thrush because it has to get worse before it goes better. Some people get breakouts. So maybe a little bit of guidance, but it's all part of the cleansing process as your body is ridding itself of that um, fungal overgrowth. We have had so many health practitioners swear by this product even for themselves. So they are bypassing the pharmaceuticals, and they find this product really fantastic. So again, I just think a little bit of guidance on what you might be going through as a cleansing response whenever you're taking this. And I think this one is so interesting to see like a customer journey as they really reset the gut. The infusion here, Soothe Biotics contains Saccharomyces boulardii. That's a really hardy resistant strain. Olive leaf extract, so that's your olipurin, um, and then gut soothing probiotics. If you find that someone is not quite ready to do a full-on cleanse and stick to, an anti-candida diet and whatnot, this is absolutely fine to ease them in. It's also it's a must if somebody's taking antibiotics. Um, you know how so many people, whenever they take antibiotics, totally disrupts the gut microbiota, and they might be more likely to get tummy upsets and thrush. Um, so yeah, I think this is a great one for relief, and easing people in and just giving that really quick IBS support and relief. So again, all part of the Restore range. And next up is the Balance range. So this is more like a maintenance phase, really popular subscription products. And these ones are really for supporting emotional and hormonal equilibrium. They're perfect for stress, burnout, or women's health. So the cleanser Prozyme, it blends enzymes, probiotics, spirulina, adaptogens, and ashwagandha. Again, another all-in-one powerhouse product. Um, these all come together for long-term digestive and stress support. This one is definitely in demand, especially if you have people who maybe carry Rennies about in their handbag, switch them onto this and they don't look back. Really great for reducing daily bloating. And if you think, like, a lot of people do bloat whenever they don't take time to sit down and chew their food properly. So the digestive enzymes are really a great support for a busy, stressed individual who maybe lacks a bit of routine. And again, the ashwagandha, the adaptogens are all great for stress related symptoms. Next, we have our infusion, which is Harmony. It contains red clover, wild yam, sage, and hops, plus vitamin B6 and zinc. So, more of a herbal formula for naturally supporting estrogen in the body, and particularly good for women who experience difficult cycles, fertility issues, and also peri and menopause. Definitely easing mood swings, hot flushes, sleep issues. We have so many women who swear by this. And again, another great subscription product. So people buy this repeat every month. So moving on to Nourish range. This is our everyday radiance range. It's all about long-term support, looking at common deficiencies in the body and how can we best support those. So, fibres and bio, it combines soluble fibres, prebiotic FOS, L-glutamine to soothe the gut lining, peppermint and fennel, so those are great for soothing like tummy upsets, aiding digestion, even IBS symptoms. This is ideal for clients with bloating, sluggishness, or low microbiome diversity. And I suppose if the general message is eat more fibre, I think when people find this product, it makes sense to them. Um, I find it can be a little bit more prescriptive for men. Seem to be quite good at taking fibre on a daily basis. It comes as like a scoop, and it's the best. Well, I'm going to sound very biased by saying that, but we tried so many different types of psyllium husks and fibres, and they generally don't mix well. We got a perfect blend here of psyllium, glucomannan, and sugar beet fibre, and basically, what you do is you put it in a shot of your juice or your water and take it straight away. If you're to leave it, it expands like a wet sponge effect. But that's what's happening in the digestive gut. It expands and it sweeps away all the sticky residue as you go. Because of it sweeping away that stickiness too, I find it's very good for anybody who has like very sticky waist or high cholesterol. So definitely it's a good heart healthy supplement to take. And we're going to look at our omegas. If you've got basically anyone who's not a vegan should be getting upsold an omega. It's been proven to have so many health benefits from, autoimmune health, your joints, your brain health, your skin, cholesterol issues. We just we're basically all deficient. We should all be getting omegas in our diet. And I think where the dietary advice is, eat 3 portions of oily fish each week. Just realistically, people aren't getting it. So I would say if they're not vegan, upsell omegas. And I just want to make another point on that, and how it compares to other omegas on the market, because this goes across the board. We have done so much even to save people money. Whenever you look at the strengths, like ours, for example, has 2,000 milligrams per dose. It's infused with a balanced blend of omega 369 and vitamin E. And if you look at our ORP for 60 gelatin capsules, you compare that with all the skin SkinCeuticals, those premium range omegas. We've compared them all, and for such a lower dose and maybe 3 times the price, if we weigh this up in perspective, our omegas are 3 times the clinical dose at a third of the price. Again, just bringing perspective to how we've brought so many quality ingredients together into one. And that's your training complete. We do have more in-depth training webinars, but I hope that that was a good whistle-stop tour and that you can confidently recommend ARK Fusion. But remember, you also have our supplement selector quiz to guide decisions. We're always here for any questions. Just reach out to our team. We're happy to arrange team training, a live Q&A. whatever you need, we have our email address there so you can get in touch. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that's been really, really helpful. And I look forward to hearing from you with any questions.